Sunday school continues. We are in Genesis chapter 33 now. And in Genesis chapter 33, we're going to learn, know the events that took place in Jacob meeting his brother Esau. Finally, they're going to meet. And what events unfold, we're going to go through in this chapter to know. Because Esau came with 400 men to meet his brother. And before they finally arrive, when they finally arrive, let's read and see what really happened. I don't just want to explain everything. I want to read for you guys to hear what the Bible itself is saying. That's the reason sometimes I give a summary a little bit and then we read and then we talk about it. So you will know it's not coming from my head, but it is written in the Bible. So let's go. In Genesis chapter 33 verse 1, Jacob looked up and there was Esau coming with his 400 men. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the two maidservants. He put the maidservants and their children in front, Leah and her children next, and Rachel and Joseph in the rear. So you see how he did these arrangements? When he got married to Leah first, Leah had 4 sons for him. Rachel didn't have children. She didn't give birth to children at that time. So they kept on giving their maid servants to him to bear children too on their behalf. So these are the maid servants verse 2 is talking about here. Rachel gave her maid servants to Jacob so she can bear children on her behalf. Likewise, Leah too did the same thing. So those 2 maid servants have children for Jacob. And Rachel finally had 1 son, Joseph, before they left Haran. That is their father's land, Laban's land. Rachel had just 1 son, and that was Joseph, before they left. So he arranged these children and their mothers. He put the maid servants and their children in front. And then Leah and her own children next. And then Rachel and himself. Did you see? Rachel was the beloved wife. She was really the wife he saw at first sight and wanted to marry her. But when he approached the dad, they arranged, he worked 7 years. He deceived him and gave him the eldest daughter. So he never loved Leah. But because of their own marriage tradition, they veil the bride, bring her to you in the night, and he slept with her. He found out, so there was no way to reject her because he has known her for wife. He was not happy, but he didn't have any other way. He has to carry on with it. So you see, this is another life lesson we have to learn, what that man did. Do not force people on others in marriage relationship because it is a lifelong thing. It's going to haunt. Even in this life, we ourselves, some of us women, because we need this man in our life. Oh, this man is beautiful, he's handsome, he has money, he has opportunity, he has all these worldly things. That man, I must have him. No matter what. Whether he likes me or not. Whether his family likes me or not. I want him. I must have him. Then you go all out. You go into it. In the end, you go, you regret. There is no turning back. Even if for now people can divorce and this and that, you can turn back. But you have the scar. You have what people will say about you. So these are life lessons we should learn from these things too. So you see how Jacob rearranged his family to meet his brother because he's still skeptical. He's still thinking of what he has done to him, the hurt he has given him. And he has gone long years and now he's coming. How is he going to receive me? So he arranged his family, the male servant. So if Esau is really going to attack him, he has people at the front line he's going to attack first. So the others maybe will pull out and flee for their lives. So you see the way he's arranging them, his own family, his own children, the male servants first, then Leah, and now Rachel and he himself. So let's just go ahead. He himself went on ahead and bowed down on the ground 7 times as he approached his brother. What an honor. That honor he failed to give his eldest brother from birth. Now is the time to give to him. Give honor to those honor is due. When you refuse, there's going to be a time nobody will tell you, but you only have to go give that honor before you have peace. This is what is happening to Jacob. He went and bowed 7 times. After he has arranged his family in that order, he went ahead now and bowed 7 times in front of his brother Esau. But Esau ran to meet him, Jacob, and embraced him. So you see, Esau has forgotten. He knows he is his brother. He might be even wondering, where has he been? Because he left without saying anything to him. He was running away from him. So how is he going to tell him? So maybe he might, because they were the only children their parents had as twins. The Bible didn't say they have other children after them. They were the only children they had. So Esau ran and embraced his brother and threw his arms around his neck and kissed him. Oh my God. My heart is melting. He has forgiven him. And they wept tears of joy. Then Esau looked up and saw the women and children. Who are these with you? He asked. Jacob answered, they are the children God has graciously given your servants. Oh my. They are the children God has graciously given your servants. Look at that response. Very humble. He is doing all his best. My dear people, let's learn from this story. This story is very, very important in family reconciliations. No matter what your brother, your sister, your friend, your relative has done to you, it doesn't take anything from you to forgive. If that person comes before you asking for forgiveness, no matter how hurt you are, even you yourself, you hurt God every day. And he keep on forgiving us. That is the grace that is on us, that is making us continue to live. We commit sin, we do all manner of things, we stray away from the presence of God. We do our own things to please our flesh. But God is faithful and just to forgive us and clean us from all unrighteousness as long as we come before him and ask for forgiveness. So who are you? Who am I that my brother hurts me or my sister hurts me, and come genuinely? Even if you didn't come genuinely, that's left with you with your conscience. I'm not going to look into your conscience. But if you come asking me, my dear Elizabeth, I know I hurt you. I'm sorry. Easy. But there are some people, they will hurt people. They will pretend like nothing happens. They have the guilty conscience nailing them, but they will never come out to confess it. They think when they confess it, that their glory, their honor, their high pitch they are placed, they will come down. My dear, you are the one that is lower. If you hold somebody in your heart, you know you have offended, but you feel too big, you feel too high, you feel too empowered to come to the level of that person and ask for forgiveness or to reconcile with that person. And you think if you do that, your glory, your honor, and everything will disappear from you. You are just putting yourself into your conscience prison. Do you know your conscience have a prison? Yes, it does. anytime you see that person or you hear about them, your memory will clock. It will click. You will not be happy with yourself. But you are feeling pompous. You are still saying, it doesn't matter. The time it will matter, maybe you will not even find the person to say sorry again. You will only continue bow down to your God, asking God, oh God, have mercy upon me. I wronged that person. But you have all the privilege to meet that person, to say, you know what? I know I wronged you. Or I know you complained that I did this. Anyway, let's forget about this. Let's move on. But people will continue giving excuses. They will continue making stories. They will never accept their faults. My dear, don't accept, but you will see it. These are true life lessons. You see what happened? The minute Esau saw that his brother has been sending these messages just to come home, he went. And when Jacob saw Esau, he bowed down 7 times to honor him. Esau just ran and embraced him and kissed him, and both of them were in tears. What is that? Tears of joy. Esau was relieved. Oh my God, my brother has forgiven me. Finally, I can live at peace. And Esau too will be saying, oh, my long lost brother is found. What a joy. Maybe their parents have long passed away. They are the only one now with their own families living. But I have seen families torn apart for minute things. Things that, nobody can take it as anything big except for individual differences. But some people, families have been torn apart. I have seen families, blood brothers and sisters, years. They don't talk to each other. They don't visit each other. Maybe they can meet in other family gathering. But even this is extending even to their own children and their children's children. And tomorrow when you pass away, you go to your God. What are you going to tell your God? You left your children in bondage. Some of these things we have to reason not for ourselves again, but for your children. You might have gone away. You don't know who you treated as your enemy is going to be the one that will be a savior for your children. You never know. That is why when we are passing, if you know, except if you are not conscious, but if somebody comes to you and tell you, or another person gossip to you, oh, this person once said this. If you have the privilege to go meet that person, strike compromise, make sure everything is cleared and move on. Whoever says sorry to somebody is the bravest, is the strongest, is the most respectful. But you that say, I will never say sorry to that person, I will never do this, you are the weakest. They have to pity you and pity yourself. Let's learn from these things. So we continue. I don't want us to deviate much. In verse 5, then Esau looked up and saw the women and children. Yes, we have said that. And he said, those are the children God has graciously given your servants. So Jacob is referring to him as Esau's servants. Then the male servants and their children approached, bowed down. Next, Leah and her children bowed down. Last of all came Joseph and Rachel, and they too bowed down. So you see, I told you before, Rachel had one son before they left, and that was Joseph. But Esau said, in verse 8, Esau asked, what do you mean by all these droves I met? To find favor in your eyes, my lord, he said. So with all the gifts he has presented to his brother Esau, he asks, what do you mean by all these things? He said, I want to find favor in your sight. He said he's going all out to make peace with him. This is not the time to fight anymore, because he didn't benefit anything from it. Only the guilty conscience has been haunting him all this while. So now he's ready to make complete peace and heal from it. So he said, I'm doing this all to find favor in your sight. But Esau said, I already have plenty, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself. But Jacob said, no, please, said Jacob. If I have found favor in your eyes, accept this gift from me. For to see your face is like seeing the face of God. Oh my goodness. Now that you have received me favorably, is that not wonderful? Yes, of course, it is. He said, take all your gifts. I have enough. Then he said, no, if you think you have forgiven me, take them. So I will know you have really forgiven me by accepting my gift. And Esau said, my dear brother, seeing this your face is like I have seen the face of God. Just imagine how much he has been longing to see his brother. You don't have to buy me gifts just to buy my love or to accept you. Just seeing your face is like I have seen the face of God. Don't worry about me. Oh goodness, God help us to learn from these things. Accept it and put it into practice. And then he went further in verse 11. Please accept the present that was brought to you. For God has been gracious to me, and I have all I need. And because Jacob insisted, Esau accepted the gifts. Finally, Jacob insisted, I have planned to give you this, please accept it. And Esau accepted. Then Esau said, let us be on our way. I'll accompany you. So you see, he said, well, let's continue. Let's go now. I will be, behind you. I will be in your company. But Jacob said to him, my Lord knows that the children are tender, and that I must care for the ewes and cows that are nursing their young. If they are driven hard just one day, all the animals will die. So you see, he said, I can't continue this long journey in one day, because the children I have are young, and even the younger animals that are breastfeeding, if I drove them in that hurry, they will all die. Please, I will follow you later. But Jacob said to him, so let my Lord go on ahead of his servant, while I move along slowly at the pace of the droves before me, and that of the children, until I come to my Lord in Seir. So you see, he said, let Esau go ahead. He will go slowly because of his young animals and his young children, because they can't move in a rush. So Esau said, then let me leave some of my men with you. But why do that? Jacob asked. Just let me find favor in the eyes of my Lord. You see, you don't have to leave your men with me. Let me just get favor in your sight. Just forgive me, accept me. I don't need your men to guide me anymore. So that day, Esau started on his way back to Seir. Jacob, however, went to Succoth, where he built a place for himself and made shelters for his livestock. That is why the place is called Succoth. So where Esau came to meet Jacob, they have reconciled. Esau, he received gifts from Jacob, and then he said, let them go. He will be in company of him. But Jacob said, because of my younger animals and my younger children, I can't move in a rush. Go ahead of me. We will follow you. So there Jacob left. He went to Succoth, and he built a place for himself and his animals. And he called there Succoth for that reason. After Jacob came from Paddan, he arrived safely at the city of Shechem in Canaan, and camped within the sight of the city. So he finally arrived where their grandfather Abraham was when he left his home, Padan, in Canaan. Canaan was the promised land God promised Abraham. And that was where he settled. And that was where he and his wife passed away and were buried. He bought a land there from the people that were there and buried his wife. And when he too passed away, that was where Abraham too was buried. And then this is the same land Jacob has come now to live. So for 100 pieces of silver, he bought from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, the plot of ground where he pitched his tents. There he set up an altar and called it El Elohe Israel. When he pitched the tents there, that was what he called El Elohe Israel. And that was the end of Genesis chapter 33. So what we have learned in this Genesis chapter 33 about the reconciliation of Jacob and Esau, we have a lot of life lessons to learn from them. That in this life, never you feel too big, too high, too gracious, while with people we have wronged. Let's be always genuine, honest with ourselves, and our conscience will be at peace. Although some people we wrong people and they pretend as if nothing is wrong, they close their conscience. That is what they do. They close their mind and their conscience. Anytime the thought wants to come to them, they pretend as if nothing is wrong. So they move on. But my dear, there are times that little voice will come speaking to you. And if you keep on closing your conscience without going to make peace, I pity you. Let's have that true, genuine conscience. Let's listen to that still small voice, the voice of the Holy Spirit. It directs you to do things that are good. It doesn't make you doubt. It doesn't make you fear, because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of a sound mind. The spirit of fear will come from the devil. He will bring all manner of evil thoughts, lies. That is what the devil is. He came to steal, kill, and destroy, but our Lord Jesus Christ came that we will have life and we have it more abundantly. Thanks be to God for that. May the grace of God be sufficient for us to know the truth, to walk by the truth, to love the truth, and to live by the truth. Live at peace with everyone. That is all I will leave with you. Thank you.